guys, so this is Madhu here with Baglush. As you guys know, I am obsessed with handbags. I am sorry that I've been away for a long time. I've been quite busy, but I know a lot of you guys have been asking for new reviews, and here we go. So I'm going to do a review on the Chanel Classic Flap. This is my favorite bag, and I did a review about a year ago, and there's been a lot of price increases, and I think it's important for us to start over. Coco Chanel came out with this bag in, I believe, the 1920s. That was the first iteration of this bag, and it was quilted, it was black, and it was lambskin. The lambskin handbags, I'm sure you've seen those. Those are leather, like they're more of the supple leather feeling bag. I don't have many lambskin bags because I just feel like they're hard to take care of, but they were supposed to be like the elite type bag. They were, you know, a lot more luxurious. This is a little bit different. This is the Caviar handbag. Chanel came out with it in the 1920s. She updated the handbag in February 1955. So if you've ever heard of Chanel 2.55 flap, that would be this. 2.55 means 2 for February and 1955. So Chanel 2.55 flap, and it's really for all the sizes of this style. So if you ever hear that phrase, it's for this handbag. The original 2.55 flap did not have this Chanel interlocking logo, which is what has made this bag so iconic. The original bag had what was called the Mademoiselle lock, and it signified that, you know, Chanel never got married, and it's a very simple lock. Now they have these bags called the reissue bag. The reissue bag has the original Mademoiselle lock, and it says Chanel in really tiny letters. This interlocking C logo was the brainchild of Karl Lagerfeld. So in the 1980s, when Karl Lagerfeld came aboard, he updated the bag, and that is why we have the bag as it is today. I've seen this handbag being carried by everyone from like the Kardashians, Nicole Richie, to really like Jackie O, and you know, really old school actresses. It just goes to show that you could go 20 years and this bag will always be in style. So, well, first let's cover what makes this bag so iconic. So this bag has one chain strap that turns into two. So right now it's two. And then if I want to make it longer so I can make it like a shoulder bag, it's one. So the reason that these chain straps exist is because Chanel wanted something that was like easy to carry on the shoulder. It was actually considered lower class back then to carry something on the shoulder instead of in hand like a clutch. But Chanel saw soldiers carrying like big bags with thin straps, and so she got that idea from there. And then these chains, actually, she grew up in an orphanage, and there were caretakers there, and they always had these keychains that were kind of like this, and that's where we come out with the strap. So this bag has a couple of details in it. It has the interlocking C, and if you'll notice in this interlocking C, the top, my right hand, let me think. Yeah, okay. So if you're looking at the bag, the right side of the bag has a C, and that C, that right side C, it should be layered on top of the left C, if you can see that. Then the second piece of the bag that's really important is some of these symbols. If you'll notice, like some of the older bags will have that symbol. Usually there's kind of a number of different symbols. It can be like, it'll be like a sun, like a circle, or something like this, and that means it's authentic as well. Let's open up the bag, and you'll see that underneath the flap there are two screws. Those screws must not be symmetrical. So you see how this is kind of like diagonal, and then this one's diagonal, but they're not exactly the same. You want it to look like kind of off. And then you'll see like it says Chanel on one side and it says Paris on the other. I hope you can see that. And then in the Caviar bags, inside, again, you'll see the Chanel logo, and you notice how this C goes over the other C. Interestingly enough, the distance between the two C's should be the same as the distance between, I guess, the width of the C itself. So that width, this distance, and that width should be the same. You'll see inside it says Chanel, and then it says made in France. So that is correct on the Caviar handbags. And actually in the lambskin handbags, you might see Chanel right here, and then the made in will be on the opposite side. Also, the Caviar handbags are black on the inside, so if you ever see the red ones on the inside, that's not fake, that is usually a lambskin. There are a few pockets in here that Chanel had so thoughtfully created, and I love, well, so here's the love letter pocket, the famous pocket where apparently Chanel would stash her love letters, and right now I have a tissue paper stashed in there because sometimes you never know when you're gonna need one. And then in here is where you can stash cash, apparently. So you can see there's a flap right here, and then there's some space here. So this other flap, I like this flap. Some people find this flap annoying, but I think this flap really helps keep the shape. So this bag is actually, I bought this vintage, and it's probably from like 2000, so it's over 10 years old, and it still looks really great. Inside, you'll see there's two more small pockets. Usually I'll use that for like credit card if I don't want to carry my wallet. Here's another pocket there, and then in the back is yet another pocket where you can stash cash. Or today I stash my cell phone. I don't think Chanel really planned for that. If you're ever looking at buying a used handbag, make sure that the quilting maintains its pattern, like on the back and the front. So you see how like it has, you know, the quilting is here even though there's a pocket there. So it still looks like diamonds even though there's a pocket. So if it's a fake bag, this pocket may have shifted a little bit and then it wouldn't make diamonds anymore, if that makes sense. Also, if you look closely at the stitching should have more than 10 or more stitches in each line between the next diamond. So right here, you should just make sure to count that there should be at least 10 or more stitches. That's really important too, because the fake bags will not have that great of stitching, and of course they'll fall apart really easily. The last piece is the serial number. You'll find the serial number, oh God, it's so hard to find. It's like all the way inside. I think you can pull this out, but here's the other thing, like lining in Chanel bags is so great that it's so hard to pull out, especially when you're looking for the serial number. I can't show this to you right now because it's all the way back in there. Should be all the way, yeah, can you see that? That little like rectangle? That would be where the serial number is. This handbag comes in many different sizes. It comes in the small, the medium, the jumbo, the maxi. Here in the United States, this size doesn't exist. Well, it does exist, but it's very rare. The small is actually 9 inches across at the bottom. And then there's the medium, which in the United States we call the small. Of course, like in the United States, we need everything big. So the medium is actually 1 inch bigger on this side. I really like the size. I think it's super cute when you go out and it's like dainty and fun, and yet still can fit a ton of stuff. Let's show you how much it fits. So I love this bag and I carry it probably everywhere. And the funny thing was, I was actually going to the gym one day and I had all my stuff in this bag, and my friend saw me one day and I was like walking in my sneakers and going to the gym and I was holding my Chanel bag, and she's like, are you kidding me? You're carrying your Chanel to the gym? And I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize. I just like picked it up because it was, you know how sometimes you like leave your stuff in your purse and you just don't want to switch bags, and that's kind of what happened. But I will say this, because of the Caviar, it is so durable that like really this bag lasts for a long time. So if you do occasionally have to carry it to the gym or the supermarket, don't feel bad, it will totally last. So I'm going to show you what I can fit in here. So what do I usually put in here? Well, I usually take my long wallet. See, this is actually like a really big wallet. I love this wallet. It's like an old Ferragamo wallet. And I will put the entire wallet in here. There you go. And I always bring like, you know, lip gloss. This is one of my favorites. It's called NARS Belize. And I'll put that lip gloss in there. And then my favorite eye pencil, it's the Chanel Crayon Kohl in Noir. And I'll put that in there. Or sometimes I'll just like put it in this front pocket so I have like easy access. So it's down in there. And then occasionally I will carry like extra cash, and that cash will go right behind here because sometimes I just want to make sure I have a safe place for it. So there you go. And then if I need easy access to my credit cards and my license in case I go out, I'll put that in the back pockets right there. So I have my license and my credit card. There you go. And then last but not least, my cell phone. So my cell phone can go inside here or inside this front pocket, but I like to keep it on the outside in the back because it's really easy to get out, and since I use my cell phone like crazy, I want to make sure to keep it out here. So I'll keep it back here. If I really care about how it looks, I will put it inside. And I am ready to go out. And usually I carry it with one strap because I like the way that looks like as a long purse. And that is Chanel handbag. The small in the US is now $4,400. Not joking. The jumbo in the US, which is a little bit bigger than the medium in the US, again, which is bigger than this one, is $4,900. So you're going to be spending probably around $5,000 or more, including tax, unless you live in Oregon, which at that point you can buy Chanel's tax-free. But you can buy these bags vintage or used, gently used, and I think they're really great. I bought this one vintage or gently used, and I think it looks great. I bought it for like a fraction of the price, and I'm gonna continue to use it. I actually think that the ones that were made, 10 years ago are better quality. So if you're interested in buying a vintage or used Chanel, please let me know. I can be reached on Twitter. I can be reached through my email address. It should be in the description below. I can also be reached on my website, and I'm going to be selling some handbags. I also would encourage you to sign up for my newsletter. Every time I get in a new handbag, I will make sure to blast and send you guys the details of the new handbag, and then you guys can purchase it. Also, if you have any designer and vintage handbags on hand and you'd like to sell them, please let me know. Thank you. Thanks for watching Bag Lush, and I hope you enjoyed this.